Okay, so it came back now. It's just loading up here. All right, so
All right, what am I missing to not be able to size it like I could before, though?
you should just have to click so that you have two scenes. So one scene contains um, your intro scene
Yeah.
per- contains the media source, which is the little play button, which you may have called just whatever TI intro or something,
Hmm.
and the text field and nothing
There we
else.
go. Okay,
Sources,
now I got it.
right?
Yeah, now I got it. It was the I was locked. I didn't realize what the lock was for there. Okay. Now I'm gonna try to resize it to make sure that we get it
Yeah,
what
and
we're
then I'll
looking
just have you
for.
switch back and forth between the scenes to make sure that's good. Okay, so that's good. So I'm just seeing you resize it now. And there's nothing behind it,
It's just black behind it.
which is good. That's what it should be.
Okay. And so that should be good now, I think.
Just waiting for the stream to catch up. Yep, looks now. So click on your intro button, the
Yep.
intro scene,
And the intro's
and it.
behind it now.
Well, no, they should be two completely separate scenes.
Hmm.
Yeah. So on your intro,
Yep.
so on, so it's like think of it like this: like the scene is like the parent to the sources, right?
Right.
So under each scene, you only want what you want to show. So under intro, you should have a text field and you should have a the media source and then nothing else.
Okay, I think that's what my issue is, that I don't have a media source that's separate from the two of them. I think it's the same media source for both of them.
No, so the media source is the video, sorry. Right? So here, let me take a screenshot of mine and upload. Actually, let me just uh, share my screen here for a second. So you can see my screen here.
Yeah, let me expand. Okay.
So you see how, so ignore this computer audio,
Yeah.
but see under sources for this scene, I
Yeah.
only have the text and I have the video, and that's it,
Right.
right? And then under desktop, right? Um, I only have, again, ignore these two. I only have window capture,
Right. So
whereas yours would say display capture. So on your intro screen, you must have three things here in this box,
I
and
do. I
you
have
only
display capture. I have it labeled display capture 2, test, and TI intro scene. All three are
okay.
there.
So get rid of display capture. So click on it, and then just click the minus symbol to get rid of it. It might give you a warning and say, "Hey, you
Yeah.
sure you wanna?"
Okay, so that's gone.
Okay, so let me stop. Um,
Okay,
uh,
let me do that. Okay, now you should have just that, the display capture, and then now switch it.
right, so I'm just waiting. The stream's gonna catch up. I'm gonna put it on a lower
Can
latency
I do
mode.
something to catch my stream up quicker on my end so there's not as much of a delay?
No, that's just YouTube, and it really doesn't. It really doesn't matter. Um, you know,
Right.
it's we're not doing anything that's that live, but I can change it on the back end. Okay, so I see. Um,
I should have the intro screen up.
man, this is far behind. I'm seeing your desktop. Oh, there it is. Okay, so that intro screen seems a little off center.
Oh,
Move
yeah,
a little,
here.
little to the right.
So, let's see. Is this how okay. That should be good there.
Yeah, it might take an hour to catch up. But yeah, we were just trying to. The same time all this happened, YouTube changed something in their back end, so we've just been trying to kind of debug that.
Okay.
So that's why it's got lower. Yeah, it's like 10, 20 seconds behind, so I can fix that.
But that's nothing on my end, that big delay. That's just YouTube is doing that.
Yeah, well, it just takes time to send it to wherever their servers are to process it. And
Right.
okay, yeah, I just saw you move it there. So that looks good, and you can just so when you're clicking on intro, you're seeing this, and when you're clicking on whatever your other scene is called, you're
Right.
going back to the desktop, and
And
that's
now
working.
it should switch I just clicked it to switch, and I believe I'm centered, so I should be
Okay,
good there.
so I'll just wait. And then the sound was fine, and the sound's usually the easiest part, so you
Okay.
should be good. And
Now,
then again, it can you can uh, send through your computer audio or not. So if you wanted to, play an intro song or something, you could, but it's not. You just keep it like because what Barry's doing, I don't know if you've noticed, but he's starting the stream like a half hour early now, and
mhm.
he's just putting this thing up.
Okay.
Just waiting for it to. Okay, yeah, it switched over and everything's good.
All right, that was almost a minute
Um,
to switch over.
yeah. So yeah, I'll change that. That's a something I can do in the background.
Okay, and now how? Because when I'm trying to move or crop anything, it's cropping the whole screen. How do I crop it so I can get rid of my taskbar? Is there a different?
No, well, what you would do, so whatever you're seeing in that preview window is
Yeah.
what everyone else can see. So all you would do is you drag it around and resize it and move it and stuff so that you're not seeing that in the window bar. But because
So
we're
it
because we're
tell me if now I'm gonna have a black. It's gonna be black on the top, I think, but that should do it.
yeah, and I don't know if I'd even bother doing that at that point. But what you got to know is that whatever you're going to show, we're displaying in that 16 by 9 aspect ratio, which is most TVs and
Yeah.
not Mac laptops, but Windows laptops and stuff like that. So, right, that's why you can't. If you were to stretch it up or down, it would distort that. That's why it only goes diagonally
Right.
in. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
S-
whatever layout you're building, in theory, you could make it, a smaller box on the corner of your screen or something, but it's going to have to be that 16 by 9
Within
aspect
yeah within that
ratio,
within that original black box. All right. I
right?
think I have it set up, and if it just let me when it finally catches up, I think it
Yeah,
should look good.
I,
And I've
yeah,
cut
I
off
just saw
the
it there. It
I've
looks
cut
great.
off the taskbar now.
Yep. The only thing you might want to try is under just to make it even better because your computer is handling it fine.
Hmm.
Is under settings. Yes, yeah. Settings, and then I think it's output where it's got video bitrate.
Okay. Is that where's settings? I see properties.
That might be properties for you.
All right. Properties. I have display
Uh,
under properties.
no, it'd
Maybe
be under the title bar.
set. Okay, here we go. File
Or
settings. Okay.
yeah, and then
Output. You said
yeah, output. What do you have for
fifteen
video
hundred.
bitrate? Yeah, you might just want it. And you can do that without ending the stream. You might want to turn that up to 25 and see. Basically, that's sometimes you get like pixeling
Right.
of things when they move.
Okay. I
Um,
just changed it to 25.
okay, your computer doesn't sound like it's going to explode or anything.
No. Let me pull up the. No, gee, it's about where it was before. Actually, it's less.
Yeah, well, I think you got rid of a
Having that
couple of
second stream before.
yeah, that display capture.
Right.
So that looks better. You can continue to crank it up if you want to go crazy.
Okay. Yeah.
Uh, like the 5,000 would be kind of a pro type of thing,
All right.
but I don't know if you could go
Just out of
that high.
curiosity, let's see what happens if I do it.
It's all nitpicking at this point, but it just makes for
Yeah.
a kind of cleaner look.
I mean, the thing that's taken up the most of anything is Chrome and TI and trade ideas. Everything else is,
Yeah, Chrome is a hog.
yeah. That and
That's
this Windows driver foundation thing for some reason seems to be coming up all the time out of nowhere.
Well, but this is the benefit of your GPU, right? You see your GPU, it's using like 15 or 20% of.
Yeah.
So that means it's basically everything. You've got nothing else on your computer that's really using the GPU.
Right.
Um, so it's basically, whereas a lot of the guys who don't have an external GPU, they just have the built-in one. It like competes for, right, CPU, GPU
Okay.
space. So you've just kind of got an advantage there. So that looks great actually now, turned up like that, and it's still only using between 10 and 20% of your GPU. So I think you're good.
All right. Do you know what that Windows driver foundation is? I've been trying to research it and something about resetting my wireless card or whatever, but I don't know. It just runs so high, and I don't even know what the hell the damn thing is.
I have no idea.
All right.
I'm one of the reasons I'm a Mac nerd, right? Is
I
I
just got
like
an
it.
offer from Best Buy for 18 months no financing, and I'm like, man, what do I want to go buy with that?
Yeah, that your rig, must be pretty tough because again, like the two hardest things you can do on a computer is streaming and gaming, right? Those are like the two,
Yeah.
the biggest crunches they are. So you're handling this fine, and this is gonna be kind of the most intense thing that you'll need to do with trade ideas. Like I got to do weird shit with big math, but um, I think you're fine. If you could figure out what the hell that is, then.
Yeah.
But for the purposes of this, we got the sound
We're all
working.
set. Yeah. What do I want to go buy with that?
Yeah, we just unmuted the mic there, so the
Oh, okay.
sound works.
It,
And
so I can expect that anybody that's watching me stream, I'm gonna have a big delay with at the moment.
that should be changed as soon as the stream's off. I can change that. I also noticed that I wasn't watching live. I was actually it had buffered for a couple seconds. I didn't notice. So uh,
Okay.
just unmuted the mic there. So okay. Yeah, so I'm here. Things are more up to date now, but I'm going to change it because right now I had it on low latency just because uh, we were trying to figure stuff out. But I can crank it up two more settings and make it quick. So there will always be a delay just from the fact that you have to send your things to trade ideas and they have to they've got to crunch those numbers and all of this. So there will always be some delay. It won't be nearly as bad as
What we're
um,
seeing now or hearing
what
now.
you're seeing now. It's in the neighborhood of generally 5 to 10 seconds. You should expect.
Okay. And then
But
now I see you guys talk about all the time passing off the stream, and you guys are always trying to time it. What does that mean? Is that something I have to be concerned with, or I need to know a procedure? Or
yeah, so essentially how it works is the reason we do it, first of all, is that uh, if the stream is dead for too long, it stops the stream and it basically sends everybody in the stream somewhere else, like to another video or
oh,
whatever is happening next. So what we try to do is we try to kind of fool the system into always thinking that it's the same stream. So what you'll do is you'll go and tell Barry, hey, I'm going to start at 5 minutes too, and put up your splash screen and play music. Or what some of the other guys do is they say like a minute before or something.
Hmm.
Um, then you start streaming when you tell them roughly you're going to, and then go into the YouTube chat because you're going to be in there anyway, to answer, see the questions and stuff,
Right.
uh, and just type to him, just, hey Barry, I'm streaming,
Okay.
and then he will turn off his stream. And then basically what I do is I have the website open, and um, uh, yeah, I have the website open, and then I have it muted, so it's not, you're not getting an echo playing through itself.
Okay. So essentially, I'm going to want to do um, this basically, but have this just shrink it down or whatever I need to do, and then come to it and mute it. Right.
Yeah, because you want to be able to see what they can see and have the chat, because you're gonna have to see the chat anyway. And then yeah, in the chat, just kind of say, yeah, hey Barry, I'm streaming,
Right.
um, and then he'll go, okay,
Okay.
um, and then he will stop streaming, and then it will just pop over to your screen.
Right.
And then the same thing kind of happens in reverse. So before you stop streaming, you're going to want to either see in Slack or in that live chat, you're going to want to see Barry say, I'm streaming now. And then you'll just say goodbye, blah, blah. And then you'll hit stop streaming, and it should just pop back to him. So then it just fools YouTube into thinking that it's one continuous
Okay.
stream.
But we're both streaming at the same time, essentially. It's just whoever was there first is what they're going to be seeing.
Exactly. So you're coming in basically behind him. So when he turns off the stream, it pushes you to the front,
Okay.
and then vice versa.
All right. That's easy.
Yeah, it's just important. So the main takeaway is tell him that you're streaming,
Yep.
so that he can turn it off, and then he'll do the same to you.
Okay.
And if everything goes smoothly, then we keep
The
the
crowd.
whole point is to keep the user base, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
if you've got, now if anything happens, and it doesn't carry forward, what you want to do is you just want to type in the YouTube chat to hit refresh,
Hmm.
because what will happen is it will kick people out to basically view a recording of the stream that they just watched.
Right.
But if you go, hey guys, just hit refresh, what will happen is it will just go and kind of start again.
Okay.
So they'll be fine. They just need to kind of go in and do that extra step. Which,
Right. I know exactly what you're saying from me having gone in there as a user previously, where I was in, the switch was being made, and then it started like a recording or whatever. So I just refreshed the page. I know exactly what you're saying.
yeah. So ideally we don't have to, but
Yeah.
yeah, if we do, it's simple enough to do. And again, don't stress too much about it, right? Because it's I want to get us more, but right now
It's
there's
20 or 30
50 or
people.
so people, right? It's not yeah,
Yeah.
there was like 17 today, and that's what triggered me watching this other guy's video that just has our shit open.
Yep.
No commentary, no nothing. He's just streaming our product, and
It could
he's
be
getting
all. It could be us streaming our own crap with our own links and everything else instead of sending them money. Keep the money internally.
well. And this comes to an overall kind of concept of trade ideas that you'll learn is that it's very unstructured. Dan has a concept of hire people that he likes and just let them go. There's no like year-end performance review or blah 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 blah. Like, Dan didn't even ask me to remake the AI. I was just getting pissed of seeing the shitty performance, and I just went. So it's one of those things that you're better to. If there's something you want to do, you're
Just
better
do
to
it.
do it,
Right.
and then present the results if they're good, and if not, don't talk about it, kind of thing. Then to go and ask their permission. So that's, I think I'm going to start streaming on my own channel.
Hmm.
And as soon as I'm destroying the Trade Ideas uh, viewer base, then we'll have that conversation.
Right.
It's one of those. That's just how I've gotten everything done at Trade Ideas. Is when there's, instead of saying, "Hey guys, we should do this," I just do it, and then say, "Here's what I did. What do you think?" And it usually works out better. So that's my plan for that anyway. As soon as I'm like tripling or quadrupling the numbers on our stream, I'm just gonna say, "Listen, look, I started a week ago and I'm already better than you guys. Figured out." I just want them to find a kid. There's got to be some like 16-year-old kid somewhere who
Well,
understands the YouTube algo. And
so it's funny that you say that. So yesterday I made a sales call to this kid, and he's like a real amped up whatever, and I could have sworn just from talking to him he had to be all coked out of his mind or something. But the he's a real estate agent out somewhere in California, and he just sounds like a real go-getter and everything like that. And he's like, he dropped 26,000 in an account and blew it up in like a week. He just told me, and he was listening to a friend and trading and doing whatever else. And he was like, "Oh, it's nothing. $26,000. I'll make it back in like a month or whatever, doing whatever he does." So I assume he's some kind of hustler for sure, aside from real estate. And I'm
yeah,
like, well, look, just in case, we do have an affiliate program. You can move things around and promote and make sales for you. So he seems, and he's like, I'm going to figure this whole thing out and reverse engineer everything. And he just sounds like one of those people that there's not a damn thing that is going to stop him from doing whatever. And that sounds like the kind of person that we need once he starts figuring out trading. Put him up in front of whatever, that kind of hustler chart porn mentality. That's what sells.
well, yeah, and that's what we need for, like, there's got to be the same kind of kid for SEO stuff, right? And it's not rocket science, right? And part of the stuff I'm doing, when I'm prodding and saying we need an SEO expert, is that's what Scott and Skip are supposed to be.
Okay.
So part of it's being a bit facetious, but they do Google Analytics and stuff, and I just think there's got to be a kid out there that we can just like throw a grand at and say, "Hey, watch our stream, tell us what we're doing wrong, and then go from there."
Hmm. I'm start to rack my brain because I mean, look, I knew nothing about trading 3.5 years ago. I asked one question on Twitter, and here I am now. So you know what I mean.
Well,
The
that's it.
possibilities are limitless when it comes to what social media has done and putting people in contact with each other.
Yeah, no, if you come across someone, let me know. I'm gonna take a look at something like Fiverr or something like that. Where problem is being able to have them prove that they can do what they're gonna do before they're doing
Right.
it for you.
Yeah.
That's a bit of the issue, but we'll figure all that out. Again, the game plan is once I'm beating the shit out of Trade Ideas and numbers,
Yeah.
then I'll just appeal to Dan's ego and just say, "Hey,
Yeah.
how much are you paying these people and they can't do it?" And I was able to do it, kind of thing. But
Yeah. Exactly.
no, for this, I think you're all good. Everything looks fine on my end, and
Awesome.
again, the same exact processes for recording. So if there's anything you wanted to record and
Right.
put out there, you would just hit start recording, and
Hmm.
then if you opened it, it would have your there's a folder somewhere on your computer where it's
Yeah,
just
I
going to dump.
messed around and did just a test recording the other day, and I came across the recording. Now, can you record and stream at the same time from this?
You can, yeah,
Okay, interesting.
if you click both buttons. Now that's
Yeah,
going to be a level of intensity again
right.
on your system, but your system's handling this fine, so that will be fine, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can do both, and then also we can set it up that when uh, a lot of the streams they end up getting recorded but deleted. But you can do the same thing. If you ever get into your own YouTube stuff down the road, where your stream will just turn into a recording on YouTube when you're done.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, no,
Right?
I turned on the recording now and just click around charts to make everything do everything, and I'm still looks good.
Yep. So yeah, so when you click stop recording, there'll be that file somewhere, and you'll be good to go. So.
All right, cool. All right, I won't take up any more of your time, Michael. I really appreciate you doing this all with me. And
Oh no, no problem. It was my idea to get them into the streaming stuff. So then, so the problem with the whole, do it and ask questions later is then it becomes your
well,
responsibility.
that's exactly it. And I think I'm gonna, I have a different perspective than everybody else does with the company, having been a customer that knew nothing. I was that star, in when I did my test drive in July of 2017. I was that starry-eyed guy that was like, oh, I'm gonna do this, and I had some realistic expectations. Like I knew there's no way I was just gonna start trading, and 3 months later I was making money. But I taught myself to speak fluent Spanish, so I know I can learn or do anything. So I have that kind of aspect of starting from absolutely nothing. Not to mention that there's so much more resources and tools with Trade Ideas now than there was in July of 2017. And I want to start doing some of my own like kind of videos. I know Sean did the 20 and 20 and stuff like that, and I need to go through all those to make sure I don't overlap anything. But I think
Yeah.
there's things from my perspective, having been a new user, that I can
It-
post a lot of stuff and mitigate some of these tickets.
oh yeah, well, and that's the thing is there's no problem, and you probably noticed too that some of the videos that we use for support are on my channel. And there's no problem with that at all, right? And don't really worry about overlapping if it's going to go on
Right,
your own channel, because you'll have your own followers and your own niche. And
right,
since everything's pointing back to Trade Ideas, there's no conflict there. There's no gripes. There's nothing.
right.
Dan just looks at it as more free content.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So,
So, all
all
right,
right,
I'll
man.
let you get to whatever you need to be doing, and we'll pick this up on Tuesday. Hopefully, it'll all stream perfect.
Yeah, I'll be, and again, I'll be around on Tuesday to back you up if something explodes. So don't worry about that.
Awesome. All right, thanks again, Michael.
No problem.
All
Have a
right,
good one.
you too.